Uh, what is going on, everybody? How we doing today? Hope we're doing all right. Um, sorry, just checking something out real quick. All right, yep, we're good. We're good to go. We're good to go. How we doing today? All right. What's going on, Zachary Vera? You're the only one talking right now. That is okay. Me, I'm just kind of chilling, doing my thing. Uh, Fucking crazy day as usual. Crazy fucking day. I've been talking a lot about how I have a lot of shit on my plate, and it just feels like it's never getting any smaller. It's only getting bigger, which is a pain in the ass. But I'm gonna save you as much of the spiel, as much of the spiel as I possibly can. And I'm just gonna skip straight to the part where I tell you, hey, be very careful about what you agree to. Think 5 years into the future. Think 5 years into the fucking future. Um, we go through this life thing and we try and figure everything out as best we can, but a lot of the time we don't realize we made bad decisions until hindsight. And I'm not saying like I have a bad life right now or anything like that. I just have way too much shit going on, and I'm not in a spot where I feel that I'm optimized, if that makes sense. 30 years old. Um, and I'm trying to have kids, but like there's things that it would have been better for me to try and get figured out earlier, if that makes sense. And like it's not like Sam's get a skill kind of talk. Although that is very important. I have a skill, and that's martial arts and running a business. I've been getting practice with being in a business environment for almost as long as I've been doing martial arts seriously, right? There's things I can tell you about like advertising and marketing and other stuff like that that you will, you wouldn't just know right out the gate, just because you happen to run a business, right? It's stuff that you are only going to learn if you're experienced, right? But um, fuck, I just blanked on what I'm saying. Fuck, damn it, I blanked on what I'm saying. Oh fuck, 5 years from now, it will be worse to have a real life. Being serious is most important, though, says Carl Simpleton, watching on X, on X, watching on X.com. Fuck him. That was that's got to be the dumbest fucking rebrand that I've ever heard. X.com. Like not that Twitter is like the most fucking like genius thing to call a social media site or anything like that, but like just renaming it to X. Elon was like, what sounds cool? What sounds based epic based and Kekarino? What sounds epic based Harambe? X.com. X. That's what he did. That's fucking what he did. Oh man. But yeah, like I think I remember what I was saying now. Like the whole Sam Hyde get a skill thing is definitely important. You need to have something to do. Being a generalist is not exactly the best thing. And this is coming from a guy who didn't go to college. I didn't go to trade school or anything like that. I realized after a point that like I was not going to go to college. It started with I'll take a year off. Then a year turned into like 3 or 4, and then I was like, dude, can I really fucking go back to school? I couldn't stand high school. Why the fuck would I want to go back to school? Um, and then eventually I realized, okay, so MMA is like a career path that I can take, even if I'm not like Mr. UFC guy or anything like that. I know the way to make money in the gym world with MMA. But that is what it is. Like I said, this isn't a get a skill talk. My thing is you need to know where your boundaries are at, and you need to know when to cut certain people and certain things off, and you need to know when to say no to certain things and certain people. Because me, I'm a people pleaser, and I have a hard time saying no to people, and because of that, I end up with way too much shit on my plate. Like I said, I don't want to completely like give you guys like the whole explanation of everything that I'm going through. I'm trying to make sure that this is like me saying, hey, learn from my mistakes here, Like, make sure you don't end up like this too. And I'm going to be very, very careful to make sure that my kids don't end up like that as well, you know. I'm gonna give them what they need to not end up like me, being a people pleaser, which is just, um it's not a good thing. It's not a really good thing at all. um but yeah, like be cognizant of what you're agreeing to, and be cognizant of who you are agreeing to do that thing either with or for. And be very, very careful not to go into agreements, whether they're legal, legally binding, whether it's a handshake, whether it's like, just implied based off of like, hey, we're always around each other, you're always coming around, why don't we do this, be very careful about that. Be very, very careful, because you will find that most people out there, and I can say most, maybe not most, at the very least, a large amount of the people out there are really, they're not looking for a mutually beneficial arrangement. They're looking for an arrangement that benefits them mostly, and anything that they give you is going to be something that they are completely and totally fine with, like, parting with in the first place. Like, they're looking for relationships that are parasitic, not symbiotic. I'm pretty sure those are kind of the antonyms to a degree. um they're looking for a situation where, like, you run the entire business for them and they give you like $50 an hour type shit. That's what people are really looking for a lot of the time. And you especially have to be careful if you're someone like me, because, like, when I grew up, when I became a big boy, when I became a big boy, I was very angry. I didn't have a direction to go in, and I was honestly kind of looking for a dad figure. And when you're an 18 or 19-year-old kid and you're angry, the only people who are going to be a daddy to you, the only people who are going to be that father figure that you needed but didn't have, are going to be people who are trying to, like, use you. It's going to be people who are fucked up as well, and they're trying to get their hooks into you so that you'll do their bidding. Those are the only kinds of people that are going to be, like, wanting to put time, effort, and energy into someone who is like that, right? um is weird freaks. That's what ends up happening every time, you know. um did you sign something crazy 5 years back? No, it's just that's when my life started to change. It's about 5 years back. I meet my wife. um I she finally arrived from the mail order bride company. um I met my wife. I started coaching more classes at my gym. um I decided that I needed to get a different job that was going to be a little bit more intensive, a little bit more time consuming. That job, they decided they wanted to unionize. I ended up on the unionizing board, like one of the founding members of the union, one of the guys who was sitting across from my boss saying, "No, we want a 2 cent raise. 1 cent raise is too little." I ended up being one of those guys, and now I'm the fucking union steward, the only one, because everybody else is a pussy. They're literally like, "Oh, but, like, I don't want to have to get into a yelling match with the bosses." The bosses are, like, cool. They're not the yelling match kinds of people. They're all right guys, but, like, even if you did get into a yelling match with them, just be like, "Dude, shut up." just tell, dude, fucking I sat there in the middle of a grievance meeting for myself. For myself. Actually, it wasn't a grievance meeting, it was an investigation. It was an investigation because my boss, right, my original boss, who got fired for sexual harassment, mind you, he didn't like me because I told him no one day. And he was clearly some kind of narcissist, sociopath, fucking weird, fucking asshole freak, right? And because of that, he had it out for me since the day that I was like, "No, I'm not going to do what you're asking me to do. I don't have to, and it's unreasonable." Um, I fucking sat there. It was him. It was the guy who would end up becoming my boss, who was actually not a bad guy, when my original boss got fired for sexual harassment. Again, mind you. I fucking sat there as this guy was asking me questions, and I was like, "I don't sweat you." Like, I got to live the dream, ladies and gentlemen. I got to live the fucking dream. I got to sit here and look at my boss and basically tell him he ain't shit. And these people are like, well, I don't want to do that. It's like, fuck, it's great. It's fantastic. I need help. It's like, fuck, man, you know? But I'm getting into explanations here, and the only reason I'm getting into the explanations is because, like, specifically that one is kind of a funny story, you know? Being able to, like, your boss is sitting here asking you loaded questions, you give all, like, evasive answers, and then there's, like, a momentary pause where everyone's just kind of writing things down and taking things in, and I just break the silence with, I don't sweat you. And the union lady who was right next to me pretended not to hear that, but I could kind of see her, like, kind of like that. And I saw my fucking boss also pretend like he didn't hear it, but he was like, you could kind of see him like that. And then the guy who's actually kind of chill, the guy who was actually chill who took over was kind of like, not like a yeah, but like you could kind of see just he was like, oh shit, this guy's kind of fucking tapped, but you know what? He's saying what I wish I could say because nobody liked that guy. Even those dudes did not like that guy. You know, it's fucking fantastic. You know, it's like damn. Anyway, um, all my forest animal homies think humans are pussies. They are. They are. It comes from sharing a community TV in Brazil, says Zachary Vered. What does? What does? I'm confused. You know? Um, they can be useful to those who can tolerate it. I'm not 100% sure what you mean, Carl Simpleton. Do you mean like angry young men? Um, I mean, I can agree if that's what you mean. You know, they can be useful if someone can tolerate it, but that's the thing is that like most people will not tolerate it because they don't have something that they are trying to pawn off onto that kid, you know? They don't have some fucking master plan. They're not trying to groom somebody because that's what's happening, right? The term grooming or the term groomer has kind of taken like a certain connotation that I agree with, right? You're a fucking groomer if you're trying to get access to underage kids to force fucking gender studies like bullshit and sex education on them, right? You're a fucking groomer. But um it's not just with underage kids. You also have people who like they're over the cusp. They're not over the cusp. They're over the line. You know, they're 18, 19, 20, even 21, 22. These are still practically kids, right? I'm not saying like, oh, this 27-year-old is dating a 22-year-old. Oh, he's like a pedo. Like that's literally kind of like what's happening nowadays, and I think that's really weird and stupid. Um, you know, if you're overage, you're overage, but just because you're overage, it doesn't mean that you're like completely and totally like, oh yes, I know the implications of every little thing that I'm fucking doing. When it comes to something like relationships, yeah, by the time you're 18, 19, 20, you're able to grasp, right? You're able to understand, right? But when it comes to other things like whether or not you're wasting your time on somebody, whether or not you're making a proper choice, whether you're signing on to something that is going to be good for you down the road, you're not, you may not be as well off as you might think you are, right? Same thing, or just in general, right? And because of this, it's like a really weird situation where it's like you have dudes in their 30s, 40s, 50s who they like look for 18, 19, 20-year old kids to like try and like groom into their fucking servants, their assistants and things like that. It's not even like a situation where it's like sexual in nature, you know? It's a situation where somebody who has bad intentions, even if they don't realize they have bad intentions, they just think, "Oh, I need someone to run my construction business for me." When I go off and fucking I go on 5 vacations every week, right? Like even if it's something like that, they're still in a situation where like they're grooming those kids, and you know those kids may not realize like, oh, this is not a good situation for me to be in. I should avoid this dude because he's just going to try and make me into his workhorse. That's all he's gonna do, and that's kind of what I was saying is like. you know, you got to be careful of who you get in bed with. You got to be careful. Of course, that's, you get what I mean by get in bed with that, right? I'm trying to make sure I keep like the connotations separate, even though they are related, they are connected, right? You got to be careful who is offering you shit. You got to be careful if you're like a 17, 18, 19-year old kid and you're mad because your dad was like neutered and your mom was a bitch, and um like you're almost literally better off just like hiding in your room until you're good enough in some cases, right? Like I know for me, no amount of anything other than me just taking the time to sit down and think about like how my life has gone and uh what I want to do, where I want to go, the kind of man that I want to be. Nothing, and I mean absolutely positively nothing, not even MMA, helped me to become a better person like just fucking sitting down and thinking about it did, you know? And like look, not everybody has that power. Not everybody has like the mental fortitude, the moral fortitude, you know, the just the fucking IQ, right? Not everybody has the IQ to do stuff like that. But like in some cases, you're literally better off just being like, maybe I should just cordon myself off from the world for a little while. Maybe I should just like become a shut in, avoid 4chan, avoid anywhere that people tend to go, and then they end up finding a friend who, when you turn the lights out, there's an aura around them, you know, and just like think about shit and like study stoicism or like some other fucking self-help shit, right? Just like figure yourself out. Take the time to unfuck the Rubik's cube up. Like nothing helped me better than doing that. Is what I'm saying. And you know, finding like a surrogate father figure that like that wouldn't have helped me out because I would have just been in, again, like saying in bed. You know what I mean by in bed. I would have just been in bed with a guy who didn't actually give a fuck about me. He just wanted somebody to like fucking, I don't know, water his plants or mow his lawn or something like that. That's all he wanted, you know? Um, what have you learned about Brazilian culture, Scott, via your wife? I learned that a lot of places in Brazil don't have plumbing that can take flushing toilet paper down, and because of that, if you flush toilet paper, eventually it'll get backed up and it'll fuck up the entire plumbing system. So, you shit and you piss in the toilet, but when you gotta wipe your ass, there is a waste basket right next to the toilet that you throw the shit paper in. Yep, that's a real thing. It's a real fucking thing, believe it or not. Um, no, I love Brazilians though. They do get like they do get a little bit much to be around sometimes. Like there was a point, I'm not gonna lie, I was living like 7 people to a two-bedroom because Brazilians just have a hard time saying no a lot of the time, you know? Um, and it's a situation where like fucking you end up you end up like somebody is like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna move up to Massachusetts. I'm in Florida right now. I'm gonna move up to Massachusetts, you know. Could I spend like a couple weeks at your place?" And then a couple weeks turns into like 2 months, and you're just like, "What the fuck is going on here, dude?" You know. There's a lot of cultural things, and a lot of it comes down to like Brazilians being very in group, uh, um, preference based. I guess you could say. Their preference is towards the in group. You know, it's not that they like hate anybody who's not Brazilian, but there's a certain way about them that is like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Very chill people, sometimes a little bit too chill to a point where like they don't understand. Like it is mind-boggling to a lot of Brazilians who come here how much we work and how serious we take our work. You know, like I sat here, another great example of how like Brazilians kind of fucked my shit up for me. Um, I got into a car crash recently. The front end of my car was fucked up, but not irreparably, right? It was like $1,500 worth of damage, and uh like I didn't, I didn't want to go through my insurance because it would have just been a fucking rigmarole, and I happened to have $1,500 on me, so I was like, whatever, I'll go ahead and I'll do it. So for the better part of a month, I'm sitting here waiting for this Brazilian dude to come to my place because he is friends with my brother-in-law. This dude comes to my place. He has me order all these parts. He gets one of the parts. He opens it up and he's like, "Oh, this is the wrong part, huh? I had you order the wrong part." It's like to Brazilians, that's like a "Oh, oops, whoopsie, ho ho, whoopsies, oops." Oh man, silly me. Ha ha ha. That's like what that is to them. To me, an American who understands what it takes to survive in America, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This is a disaster. Every day I don't have my car is another day where fucking I am losing money. I need my car fixed now. And like it took the better part of a month to fix my car, not because like that's just how long it took, but because there was just mishap after mishap after mishap that was easily avoidable. That was so fucking easy to avoid if somebody had just practiced like proper planning, right? And making sure that the right thing gets done the first time. And a few other extremely simple, zero effort, zero energy things. But instead of that, it ended up being a month, and my fucking car got towed out of my lot. My car got towed out of my lot because it was sitting there for, again, the better part of a month. And the guys that come to make sure that there's no weird fucking cars that don't belong here, they mistook it for a car that was probably just abandoned. And I had to pay extra money to take it out, you know? Like, to Brazilians, that's no big deal. Because, for one thing, in Brazil, believe it or not, you actually get left alone a lot more. Even if there's laws, a lot of the time the laws don't get enforced. Because it's like for instance, they have a lot of street vendors and stuff like that. Could you imagine if dudes were just hanging out on street corners selling hot dogs and shit like that? That fucking forget about it, you know? Cops would come, they'd tear the thing down. If he kept coming, he'd end up getting arrested and or fined, probably both, right? In Brazil, fucking they just have like dudes cooking like barbecue just like out on the side of the road. And you give them like 5 reais and you get like a big ass piece of meat. And technically that's illegal, and the cops every now and again will show up and they'll be like, "Hey, you gotta take that away, do you get out of here?" They go away for like an hour and then they come back and they set back up, and the cops are just like, if they feel like saying anything, they say it once and then they see the guy set up again and they're like, "Fucking whatever, dude," and they fuck off. Or they just straight up know now, like, whatever, let's just leave them alone, you know? um Excuse me. Like, the cultures are different because of the work ethic, and everything fuck, I just bit my tongue. Everything surrounding the work, right? I really think that's probably what a lot of it is. We're a very work centric culture here, and that's good and bad. And they are a very play centric culture, and that is good and bad, you know? And it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see for sure. You know, the interest, the differences. You know, the differences between my wife and I in terms of like mindset and stuff like that. You know, um, I've been trying to get used to her mindset a little bit more, and I've been trying to get her to accept that she's not in Brazil, and because of that, she needs to have like everything done like when it needs to be done. You know, and we're both having trouble with that, but we're both also making strides. It's a slow thing. It's a slow thing. Quirt says, "Yo, Scott, I'm loving the new fade. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I gotta shave my beard though. I did get a compliment on my beard. I went to a sub shop, and the guy was like, 'Hey, man, sick beard.' And I appreciate that, but I gotta get rid of this thing because I typically don't like long beard, short hair. But then in addition to that, I feel gross with a beard. I explained this in one of the last streams that I did. Somebody called a mustache a flavor saver once, and I never got over that shit. And I was like, oh, fuck, dude, I gotta get rid of this thing. Actually, you know. But that's just how busy I am. That's just how fucked I am as of late. As of late. Humanity has always loved slavery. Hello, holy clown fuckerus. How you doing? How you doing? Um, I'll only get in bed with a lusty Argonian. Me too, sir. Me too. They say the Brazilians are the Argonians of South America, so you know. Um, man. Anyway, oh, I almost just read Smart Moron's comment about Brazilian culture again. You know, I'm trying to think of other interesting things about Brazilian culture. Trying to think of other things about Brazilian culture that I can talk about. Like a lot of it, because I haven't been to Brazil, so like my wife just tells me shit. Um and then like my wife will tell me shit, and then on top of that, I will like notice certain things. I'll notice certain things about like the Brazilian way of like conducting oneself and the mindset and everything like that, you know. And the thing that sticks out to me the most is obviously going to be the thing that troubles me the most, and that is of course the difference in mindset between like, hey, I need something done the right way the first time right now, and it's all right. We will get you done. Hey, relax. It will get you done. We will do it. Relax. Relax. You're so stressed. Don't get so stressed. Like that's the most jarring thing, you know. Um it's fucking insane, you know. You couldn't pay me to live in Rio. You know, the funny thing about Rio is it's actually kind of like the Hollywood of Brazil. Like that's where all the musicians and actors and other people live. It's kind of funny to think about because like you kind of know it for the favelas and stuff like that. And it's crazy. It's crazy, you know. My wife actually, she comes from the capital city of Brasilia, and there's a shit ton of Koreans there. I guess there's like a lot of Koreans and Japanese, and that's a funny little thing. There's so many. Have you tried putting holes in the drywall and holding your breath? I've tried it. I've tried it before. I hit a stud. That's why my knuckle shifts right now. I broke my knuckle, and I've just been waiting for it to heal because it doesn't hurt otherwise. So I just got to kind of wait for it to like not shift anymore. And that's going to take months. And I mean like months, you know. This happened like maybe 4 to 5 months ago that I did that. Like I just lost it. I lost it on something, you know. Nick Rochefort, right? He describes a time in his life, you know, in his 20s, and you know, me, I'm freshly 30, but um I'm only now just kind of getting started on the whole entrepreneurship thing. Um, so you know, I'm kind of still gonna be in that space. He describes a time in his life where like everything just fucking sucked all the time, and he was just always stressed out, and he was always like one step away from putting a gun in his mouth. And like I feel like I'm probably in that kind of phase right now. I feel like I'm probably in that phase right now. And I like the way he describes it because he describes it not as though it's a situation where it's like you need to learn to control yourself. Obviously you need to control yourself, and you know it's not good to be like flipping shit all the time. But it's also kind of like just part of the groove, you know. It's part of the journey. Is you're gonna sit here and be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you know, fuck, I needed that yesterday and it's fucking not here. Like that type of shit. That's what's gonna happen, you know? Um so like I don't feel like guilty necessarily. I feel guilty when I like flip on somebody, right? That's not good. And I will usually try to apologize in whatever way I feel like I can in that moment. But um you know, like just feeling guilt for the general act of, or not even act, but just the general state of like being fucking stressed out. I don't need to feel that way. I should be stressed given everything that I'm going through right now. It would be the sign of a severe deficiency of either my mental state or my moral state or something like that. You know, it would quite literally be a sign of me being a sociopath if I was not stressed at stressful things, you know? Um, So it's like that's one of those things where I listened back in the day a lot to like the self-help shit that Sam put out because I was figuring things out on my own, and then he was also saying things that I hadn't figured out yet. So I kind of identified with it. But that was like that's as of right now, that's one of the most like useful things that I've heard is from Nick talking about like, yeah, when I was fucking 25, I wanted to like fucking slit my own throat in front of fucking this the my tenants, you know. He's talking like that. Um how you gonna kill yourself when you got a wife at home? Well, I'll just go somewhere else. No, obviously you shouldn't really do that, you know. And if anybody out there is feeling that way, you should get help, you know. And sometimes the help is like cutting somebody off. Sometimes the help is getting through whatever bullshit you're getting through. Because that's the other thing too, is like when it comes to mental health in the world, like at the end of the day, we are all kind of on our own. That's just a reality, you know. Like I can only help you so much, and you can only help me so much. And it's kind of a situation where like if you are feeling that way, don't steer into the feelings. Identify what it is that's making you feel that way and either cut it out or taper it off, you know, bring it to an end. Separate yourself from it, etc., etc. Whatever you have to do, right? Like that's there's so much bullshit today because like I said, we can only help each other out so much that we say things like get help. If you feel like you're gonna do that, get help. You need to get help, bud. You gotta help. You gotta help yourself. You gotta get help. There's nothing wrong with reaching out and getting some help. And it's like, well, what's the help? They take you and they put you in what is essentially like a medical jail for the better part of a week, maybe even two, depending on how fucking ridiculous the doctor is. And all the while you're in there, your problems are just like outside and they're potentially even getting worse depending on what they are because you're not dealing with them. They're just festering for those 2 weeks, you know? Um, like that shit doesn't help. People say get help. What they mean is hurt yourself more by making your situation worse. When I say get help, what I mean is like find what it is that makes you want to do that kind of thing and like get rid of it. Like be like, no, I ain't talking to that guy anymore. I ain't doing that thing. I got to get away from this job. I got to find a new one, a better one. I got to find a hobby that's going to help take the edge off, etc., etc. You know, that's really what you got to do, you know. I kill myself in Oblivion all the time. It is fun to kill yourself in Oblivion, jumping off of a high place, you know. Um, Got to wrap those hands before punching the drywall. Rookie mistake. Exactly. Exactly. I didn't. I've been slacking off on my 12 years of MMA. Drink 1,000 skooma is how I do it. You can OD on skooma. I never knew that. That's pretty crazy. What's going on, Licardo Rosa Licardo Rosario underscore real. Hello, how are you? He's watching on Twitch right now, if he's still even here, that is. If he's still even here. You know? Um excuse me. Every every day is brutality, says Monad. Yeah. You know, like one of the places that I because believe it or not, I'm not just a yes man for Sam. Like I don't agree with Sam because I think he's cool and he fucking let me hold pads for him a few times, right? Let me be on fish tank. Like if there's something I disagree with, I'm gonna disagree with it. And one of the things I do disagree with is that you don't need to be happy. I think you need to be happy. I just think that people misunderstand what happiness is, you know? I think Sam is probably happy. It's just that he wouldn't classify what he is as happy, you know? Oh, excuse me. When a lot of people think of happiness, they think of like no, they think of like feminine whimsy almost is what they think of. They think of feminine whimsy. They think of like how you felt the first time you went to a party and you had a few beers and stuff like that. Like people mistake that feminine whimsy or that excitement as happiness, and that's not. Those are fleeting emotions that are going to come and go almost as quickly as they arrived in the first place, right? Happiness to me is just a contentness. It's not wanting more, even if you could get more, right? If you decided to get more, it would be completely and totally elective, and you don't feel like you absolutely positively need to. And in a lot of cases, you might be willing to pass that up. Excuse me. And when I think about happiness, I think about like owning a business where obviously like owning a business is work 24/7. I'm going to have to be working all the fucking time, you know. Being able to keep my kids out of public school, being able to like give my kids everything I didn't have, and I don't mean physically as in like, oh, here's an iPod. I did get an iPod eventually, but um teaching them the things that I did not get taught, having them go through life in a way that I did not go through because I, was forced on pills and things like that, right? Like that's what I think of when I think of happiness. I think of not having to like deal with a bunch of bureaucracy constantly. Just like every day I wake up, I train people at my gym, I go home, I play some video games with like Taylor or like whoever I happen to be gaming with at that point in my life. That's what I think of when I think of happiness. I think of like going to the movies with like my wife and my kids, like mini golf and shit like that. That's what I think of, and that's what I'm shooting for. Is that kind of contentness, that kind of purpose, And right now I don't really have that. I'll be honest with you. I'm working towards having that stuff, but um other than the hope that I will be able to have that over the next year and a half to 2 years, I'm basically just waking up every day because I need to get some shit done. I'm basically just waking up every day to go to work because, well, I have to. If I don't, I'm going to get fired. And all right, okay. Then I got to go teach classes where it's like, okay, I'm only 30. I should not be as fat as I am. I should not be as out of shape as I am. Why am I this fucking fat at 30? I need to work out again. I need to train again. Train myself, not train other people. Fucking A. Like that's my life, and that's why I'm so stressed. That's why my brain is always melted lately. Without giving you the giant spiel that is, And like I think it's important for you to cultivate happiness. I think it's important for you to cultivate like a mindset that is going to be conducive to being content. If you're one of those people who you always need the new thing, you always need like shit, like that's not a good situation to be in. But then also you need to understand what happiness is in the first place, as to where you're gonna actually be able to attain it, you know. Because me, like, I was happy at one point. I was happy in my life. I was living in a rooming house with drug addicts and drug dealers. We had to share bathrooms and stuff like that. I didn't have a car. Everything I needed was in my hometown. And I was happy. And the reason why I was happy is because I didn't feel like I needed anything else. Would it have been nice to have a car? Yeah, sure, totally. Would have been great to have a car. There was also other things too that I was doing. Like I was a member of a couple of different projects, a couple of different groups that were doing some really cool stuff. I don't talk about it all the time. I don't talk about it because it's like whatever. Maybe someday I'll tell you guys the stories and shit like that. But um, like I was happier from 2015 to 2020, specifically because I felt like I didn't need that much else from life. And things change, times change, and um, here we are back at the whole, hey, be very careful about who you get in bed with, literally and figuratively. But in this case, I'm talking about figuratively. What does a happy Scott look like? Like that. You can tell from the smile on my face. I don't think Sam is happy at all. I think he has severe issues with his family, and it impacts how he interacts with and works with people and companies. It is interesting two people see someone completely differently. I mean, I don't know about that, you know. Like Sam is a smart guy. Sam is an intelligent guy. If I can be honest with you, and there's going to be people that scoff at this, right? But I consider myself to be a very intelligent guy, and a lot of the time, I'm one of the more intelligent people in a room. Sometimes I'm just straight up the most intelligent person in a room, right? And the reason why I say this is because I actually understand intelligence versus effort, right? A lot of people put in a ton of effort, and Sam talks about this, right? A lot of people put in tons of effort to seem smart, and that's where you get these like 85 IQ schemers and stuff like that, where because they prey upon people who are not like constantly walking around with their guard up. People, including themselves, might think, "Oh, dude, that guy's he's street smart. He's street smart. He's intelligent." It's like, no, he's a predator, is what he is, right? Me, I'm not constantly walking around ready to start proverbially swinging on someone. So because of that, every now and again, someone comes at me, and I'm kind of like, "What? Huh?" Right? Um, but overall, like I consider myself to be very intelligent. This wasn't meant to be me like trying to justify why I think I'm intelligent. I'm just explaining. I'm trying to explain what I mean by that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I look at Sam and I see someone who is also very intelligent, perhaps probably more intelligent than me. I don't have a problem with admitting that. Excuse me. I'm so intelligent I can't even say admitting the right way. Um, Sam's probably smarter than I am, right? And I see someone who, even though he is very, very intelligent, he is someone who kind of always feels like he needs to be putting in effort. And I think it's probably for the same reason that I don't bother putting in effort. I think Sam and I are probably two sides of the same coin in that way, where um me, like, I don't put in effort, I just don't fucking bother with people a lot of the time, right? Like, uh, have you noticed I'm not constantly trying to like collab with people all the time? Like I do it every now and again, right? But I'm not flying out to Tennessee to be in like Greg's production. I'm not trying to plan stuff like that. I'm not hitting up Frank Hassel like, "Yo, dude, what are we gonna do?" I could do this. Me and Greg are mad cool. Me and Frank Hassel are cool. You know, I love those guys. They're both really cool guys. And there's so many other people I could do that with. I could hit up Binks and be like, "Hey, if I came down to Florida, would you want to hang out?" And I'm sure she'd say yes, because why not, right? Um, Even Letty, like I guarantee you, I could probably collab with Letty if I really was like, "Hey, when you're back, do you maybe want to do something? We can figure something out." I'm willing to bet Letty would be willing to do that, right? Um, but I don't bother because I don't want to put the effort in, because when you are in a situation where you're collabing with people all the time, when you have a big circle of people, when you are putting yourself in a situation where you have to perform, you have to use all of this effort that you may not want to use. And something you'll hear from Sam every now and again is that he's not a people person. And on top of that, um he has a very short social battery. He doesn't like having to put on a fucking song and dance. He doesn't like having to shuck and jive all the time. But because everybody looks at him and they're like, "That's Sam Hyde. He's the funny man." He kind of is in a situation where he has to a lot of the time, right? Um, I think that's kind of like that's my summation of Sam on that level, right? Um, I sense that he and I are very similar. I sense that he um probably feels like there's a lot of people he has to like perform for, because if he doesn't perform, then they're going to be disappointed, or maybe they're going to try and like take advantage of him or something like that. Um and because of that, he's always performing when there's a camera on him. I think that's what happened with iDubbbz. I think he knew. I mean, he literally said it. He knew that iDubbbz was coming out here to try and punk him, and instead of sitting here and not putting in the effort, since iDubbbz is fucking coming, he was like, no, let's put in the effort. You know, we have to make this into a fucking thing now because I'm not gonna let iDubbbz punk me. You know, it's very much like who's coming out on top, who's coming on top in this situation, who's on top and is coming in this situation. Um, he again, like, you know, referring back to that iDubbbz thing, like fucking, it's a very content creator mindset to have. You know, is like, oh, who's the winner in this situation? That's I've paid a little bit attention to what's going on with Letty, and that seems to be the situation she's in with uh Ice Poseidon and Chicken Andy and stuff like that. Is like there seems to be kind of a civil war going on between all of them right now, if you could call it a civil war, um, where like each of them is trying to make sure that they don't end up in like the loser spot, you know. And it, I don't know, like I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, it seems like maybe Ice Poseidon is coming out on the losing end of that. But hey, you know, hey, it is what it is. I hope you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say with that, right? A lot of people, they like, I try not to talk about intelligence, especially my own, because that's always fucking stupid. That's always dumb as shit. You always look so stupid. But um, you know, like when it comes to intelligence, I think it's like a greatly misunderstood um topic. I think it's a greatly misunderstood concept. I don't think there's like different kinds of intelligence, emotional intelligence. So that's just a way for people to try and like pretend women have something on men. You know, like women have something that men don't, right? Um, it's one of those things. Overall though, like intelligence is a complicated topic, and a lot of the time people get a little bit nerve wracked isn't the word, insecure. Although a lot of the time people get insecure about it, you know, like someone like me, I'm an MMA fighter, fat one, a fat one, but you know, the fact is like most people could not kick my ass. So a lot of these people who could not beat me in a fight, even though I'm fucking fat as shit, they're gonna turn around and be like, well, he must be dumb. I'll bet he's dumb. I'll bet he's stupid is what he is, you know. Um, it's interesting how that kind of thing happens instead of just learning how to fight and reading a fucking book, you know. Sitting on the internet like, oh, he's stupid. He knows how to fight, so that means he must be dumb. It's like, actually, a lot of intelligent people also learn how to fight because they know how important it is, you know. Anyway, it took me a long time to be honest with myself about intelligence, but now everything is easier. Oh yeah, like for me, my I had an issue growing up, right? And it's funny because there's a kid in my jujitsu class right now that reminds me a little bit of me when I was his age, and I'm trying to help this kid with this because he's gonna have a very hard life if he grows up. This kid is very quick to smell bullshit, and he's very quick to say something about it. He's very quick to be like, "No, that's not true. But what about this? You said this the other day." He's really really quick to say that shit. And it's because he's got a very good memory and he is very good at logic. He's a logical and rational young man. He knows all the logical fallacies. He's never committed one in his entire life. Um, no, like the bottom line is he can sniff out bullshit pretty well, including at his own age, which is like a good thing because a lot of people, specifically adults, they talk down to children and they think, what, it's just a kid, as if they're talking to like a fucking like dog or something like that, you know. People respect dogs more than kids nowadays. It's fucking insane. But anyway, um like they talk down to children because they assume that they're too stupid to understand, but like a lot of kids understand. And then you have kids like that one that I was referring to earlier who he really understands and he's got the balls to say something about it. And I'm trying to get this dude to understand that, like, look, the path of least resistance in these kinds of cases is usually the best bet. It's usually your best bet because you're just going to get into pointless arguments where no matter what, you're going to lose, you know? It's like when like I'll walk over and I'll tell him like part of a move, like if he's got to grab a lapel, right? I'll be like, "Oh, you have to grab the lapel with your right hand," and it'll be like, "I'm trying," and I'll just be like, "Try harder." He doesn't understand that that was completely fucking pointless on his end, and I was just gonna tell him to fucking try harder anyway. Nothing was accomplished. He's just fighting because that's the way his mind works. I'm trying to help him out with that because that was very similar to me. And eventually, what I kind of learned is it's literally better to just keep your mouth shut, let people be who they are, and be like, okay, I don't want to be around that guy anymore. I'm out of here. I don't literally. I don't want to be around that guy anymore. Just fucking disappear like that. It's so much easier to just do that kind of thing. Um, Now, obviously, though, obviously, you should have the balls to be able to talk to people that matter to you. But when you've known a guy for like 2 weeks and you find out that he likes to like beat his dog or something like that, it's like, okay, I don't want to be around that guy. And maybe I should call the police, you know, instead of like, well, you see, even that's a bad idea. But or a better one, right? You've been around someone for 2 weeks and you figure out he's the kind of guy who like he doesn't ever throw down money whenever you're getting like weed or food or booze or whatever, right? Not that you should be boozing and smoking weed, but like it's a better example than he beats his fucking dog, right? That's the kind of guy that it's like, all right, I don't think I need to like cuss this guy out, but I should probably get away from him. I should probably stay away from this fucking guy because I don't want to be around this dude. Um, it's much, much easier to go through life without exerting. It's much easier to go through life without constantly having to run calculations in your head about like, oh, fucking he said this. What does he mean by that? He did that. What do they mean by that? He thinks he's better than me. No, I'm gonna scheme. I'm gonna think about how I can try and get at this guy. Like it's so much easier to go through life without being like that. I'm very analytical. I'm very like logical. I'm emotional, obviously, right? I have emotions, but I try my best to take emotion out of things. And if I am gonna allow emotion into something, I try to make sure that it's not like an overwhelming outpour of emotion, but one of just explaining myself, right? Saying, hey, I kind of felt slighted by this thing. I didn't really appreciate that, right? Um, but overall, like I'm not constantly like ready to like swing on someone proverbially, you know. There's a lot of people out there who are like that. There's a lot of people out there who are very, very much like that. Scott reminds me of Plato, funnily enough. Well, I've never read anything by Plato. How do I remind you of Plato? Was Plato a fat redhead? Was was Plato a fat redhead who likes cookies and Biscoff? Was that who Plato was? Actually, was Plato a redhead? I feel like Plato might have actually been a redhead, but like other than that, I was just joking. Um, but yeah, like the path of least resistance is the best one, and like the truly intelligent people of the world, they take the path of least resistance when it comes to like having to deal with people, unless and until there is like a clear, tangible goal to be had. You know, I put in a lot of effort. I put like a ton of effort into how I was going to navigate the situation with my boss. Like I said, I was thinking of every contingency. I was thinking of every angle. I walked in there prepared for literally anything and everything he could have said, short of, "Hey, I fucked your wife," right? And even then, if he said that, I would have just dove across the table. I don't need to be prepared for that, right? Um, like there's putting in effort where it matters, where it's actually going to have a real effect on your life, and then there's putting in effort in a superficial way, which is what a lot of midwits and midwits and idiots tend to do. They put in effort where it doesn't actually benefit them in any way, shape, or form. um and it's I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I don't know nothing. I just made all this up, actually. I made all this up. I don't know shit. Um, KC in Texas says, loved your recent PKA. Really felt you talking about the gamification of MMA. You guys briefly talked greatest fights. Yuri versus Glover always comes to mind. Oh man, dude, I watched Yuri versus Glover. I remember watching it. I remember where I was when I watched it, but for some reason I can't remember the actual fight. I'm pretty sure Glover won via no wait. Oh fuck. Who did Glover win the championship from? No. That was Jan Blachowicz, right? That he won the championship from. Maybe I was thinking of Yuri versus Yuri. What the fuck? Glover versus Jan Blachowicz. Maybe that's who I was thinking of. But yeah. I bottom line, I'm having a hard time remembering what happened in the Yuri versus Glover fight. Maybe I'll have to watch that one back. And yeah, thank you, man. Like a lot of people complained about the PKA appearance, but like again, this is not that this is some kind of like 300 IQ 40 chess move or anything like that, right? But in order to continue to get invited back onto PKA, I have to be smart about what I do, because it's not like I'm some kind of massively clouded guest who, like, even if I get on Kyle or Woody's nerves, they're going to be like, well, we got to bring him back. He's like the Mr. Beast of Fish Tank. We got to bring him back, right? Like Kyle has gotten annoyed with guests before and been like, yo, I don't want to be around that guy again. Don't bring him back on. If I was constantly interrupting Kyle, or if I was constantly trying to inject myself into things that he was talking about that I had no fucking clue about, that would have been a very quick way for him to be like, yo, Taylor, I know Scott's your boy and everything, but he really gets on my nerves. I don't want to spend 4 hours straight with that guy again. Could you not bring him on? Like, it'd be that easy. And like, what's Taylor gonna do? But dude, we play AoE together. Like, no. Um, I need to be smart enough in that situation to realize when a good time to talk is. And there's a lot of people out there who, part of the fun that they have watching PK is just hating on either Woody or the guest, or depending on your political views, Taylor or Kyle, right? But like somebody who genuinely is like, dude, Scott doesn't fucking talk when he's on there. It's like, well, it's not that I don't talk, it's that the topic that was being spoken about at that point where I was not talking is one that I didn't feel like I should speak up for, because I'm not going to be the guy who is like derailing things. Much like Zoltar, right? And I don't mean Zoltar was derailing things. I mean, you remember the night with Zoltar, Alex Schultz, and Spencer? And then there was a couple more people there. Was Oddbod in the room? I don't think Oddbod was in the room. I forget. Nifty was in the room at one point. Like, I was not good that night. Like, I opened my mouth a few times and I felt the energy just take a giant shit. You know, I was kind of uncomfortable. I wasn't 100% sure what I should do or what I should say. And because of that, I was just kind of a body in the room who, like, whenever I would open my mouth, I would kill the vibe. So I kept my fucking mouth shut and I let Alex Schultz do the heavy lifting, because that shit was like so funny. He was so quick with it. He was so funny that I could not keep up. And I wasn't going to sit here and he's like, this dude came on the fuck with people show and he expected not to get fucked with. And then I jump in like, haha, yeah, that's like coming on the take a shit show and taking a piss. Haha, am I right? Haha. But like, no, it's literally better to not say something. And that's one of those things where it's like you kind of have to have, again, not that it's like a big brain move to be like, no, I don't think I'll say anything in this situation. Like that was a calculated thing, was like, okay, I don't like that I'm not talking right now. I don't like that it's been 20 minutes, but also I didn't watch the presidential address, and I don't even know what questions to ask about it to inject myself in a way that's not going to be annoying. So I'll just keep my mouth shut and I'll let Kyle go off. It's all good. It's all good. It's all right. I'll get the next one. Oh, Yuri got Glover in an RNC. in the last minute. Oh, I had no clue. I had no fucking clue about that. Braven Kamaka. I had no idea. Damn, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Um, John Paul Lancon says, "What the fuck is up, my Jinja Ninja? Ninja? My Jinja Ninja? Is that what that is? Is that what you're saying, sir? Um, just chilling, sir. Just chilling, having a good time tonight. Just shooting the shit with you guys. I'll probably play a little bit of AOE towards the end of this stream. I'm not pulling it up right this second, but I'll play one game, maybe two, depending on how quickly I can get through one. But I'm just having a good time. It's been a minute since I've just sat here talking with you guys. There's always been some kind of thing that I've been doing, and a lot of the ideas have been half baked. And I was like, you know what? Tonight I'm not gonna do a half baked like, hey, let's look at this thing. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna chill with you guys, and we're gonna talk about whatever we want to talk about. It's all good. It's all good, bro. It's all good. It's very good. Very good. Um, some Shakespeare makes me laugh too, but I mostly like modern shit. And No Way said it's crazy how Greek comedy is really funny. Shows how little things really change. I've never seen a Greek comedy before. Should I look into that? Should I look into that? And thank you very much, Patrick Maloney, for gifting the 5. Oh, thank you very much for gifting the 5 memberships, dude. Thank you so much for that. Fuck him. And thank you, Hayek. Oh no, those are the gifted. Those are the gifted subs. You guys, if you got gifted a sub, you don't get a thank you. You don't get a thank you if you got a gifted sub. The gifter gets thank yous. All right, so thank you, Patrick Mahoney, for becoming a member. For gifting 5 memberships. I mean, gifting 5. 5 of them. 5. Anyway. Yeah, hell yeah, read the clouds. Fucking I'm not really a reader, but I'm sure there's an audiobook. There's got to be an audiobook. I can't stand when shit isn't on audiobook. Like, I haven't gone to karate in a while. I'm talking about like since either like late November, maybe early December. I just haven't had the time with everything that's been going on in my life. And I was getting to a point where I was gonna be forced to read a novel, not a novel, with the fucking autobiography by the founder of our style. And I don't know how. In fact, you know what? Let's figure that out. The human face of karate. Karate. I'm just curious here. I'm gonna have to read this book if I go back to karate and I keep going there. And like I'm trying to see if I can find out the ooh, 2. Ooh, damn. Ooh. Sorry, Kaicho. Sorry, Kaicho. Ooh, ouch. Anyway, I'm looking for like how many pages. Format. Oh, 192 pages. That ain't crazy. That ain't crazy. Fucking I got a Oh, where? Damn. I read another book that was like 400 something. So that's not too bad. Still though, like I don't have that much of an interest in Kaicho. He's just kind of the founder of my style. It is what it is. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for founding the style. But like overall it's like man, I hope fucking like hope it's a good read. Hope it's a good read because it's not on audiobook. But yeah, anyway. Show us the AoE strats. I try to get into Crusader Kings, and I don't think I'm autistic enough. Dude, I don't even think I'm autistic enough for AoE. Fucking, I still suck. Taylor is like dumbfounded because I'm so good at microing the military and stuff like that, and my early rush capability is like very good, but my eco is trash every single time. I always have trash eco. So because of that, I either sink or swim. There's no treading water. There's no like it's fucking it's crazy. I should be so much better than I am, but I'm not because I just don't like give enough of a fuck to have a good eco. You know? I want to brute force it every time. Oh, excuse me. Um, I am getting better at castle dropping though. I joined the dark side. I started castle dropping every now and again. I had the best game that I ever had the other day, and I was playing with Taylor and our buddies, and I was shitted. I was like mad drunk. So like I'm sitting here like I don't know, maybe I always got to be drunk when I play AoE. Maybe that's a secret. I castle dropped a dude right up next to his wall. I denied his gold using the castle. I sent in fucking rams, like five of them with woad raiders, and I absolutely blew this guy the fuck out of the water. It like literally he didn't even get to castle age. He was in feudal age for the entire match. That's how bad I fucked this guy up. He immediately had to take all of his vills and go in to his neighboring ally so that he could try and rebuild there. And we just fucked him up. It was the best game I ever had. I was like, oh fuck. And then I proceeded to have two of the worst games that I've ever had immediately after that. So, one step forward, two steps back, I suppose. Um, Rise of Nation, Rise of Nations, Mogs, Age of Empires. I've never played Rise of Nations. I'll be honest with you, like I like RTSs. RTSs are fun to me, but the learning curve of a lot of RTSs kind of makes it tough for me. Um, to get into them, like and be like, oh, I definitely want to play this, right? It's kind of a situation where like when it comes to like a Dota or a Command and Conquer or something like that, I'm like, I don't know if I want to take the time to like, figure that shit out. Who knows? They could be even easier than AoE, right? Who fucking knows? Even AOM was like, okay, AOM was all right. It was slightly different meta. I didn't mind it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, you know? I mostly played with friends. That's when I had fun playing it. If I was playing alone, I was like, kind of not a big fan of this, you know. But with AOE, there's just something about it that's just it activates the neurons. The almonds are activated. Other than that, I played this one game called Army Men RTS when I was a kid. It was basically just baby's first RTS game is what it was. It's like so simple. It's practically just a fucking point and click adventure is what it is. You don't have to worry too much about strat or anything like that. Like the unit composition and stuff like that is not as big of a deal as in like AoE. And yeah, AoE is definitely a little bit more robust, but like again, the almonds get activated whenever I think whenever I play Army Men RTS, just because it's nostalgia. It's nostalgic. Kyle and Woody loved that politics talk recently. Taylor angled guests always bang. Hope you're on more often in the future. Had to read a lot of Roman authors for a Latin class. Ovid was a fave. Hearts of Iron 4, great RTS. I thought Hearts of Iron was like a tank game. Is it a tank? Is it like a tank RTS? I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm down to come on whenever they want me. I truth be told, I think I was kind of a last minute thing. I think somebody probably canceled on them, and I was probably like a last minute replacement. Which like I'm very grateful. I'm always grateful and excited whenever I get offered a spot on there. I definitely want to go back on, especially because I do get more and more comfortable with them as time goes on. Like the first time I was on, I was extremely sick. But then in addition to that, like I'm sitting here with like YouTube legend, FPS Russia, fucking Woody, who like I didn't watch tons of Woody stuff back in the day, but like I do like PKA, so like having like being around Woody is crazy. And then Taylor too, where it's like okay, Taylor and I, like we kind of hit it off right away. We were friendly with each other right away. But like this is still Taylor from fucking PKA. Like, oh shit, damn. Like, what am I doing here? Oh fuck. So there was kind of a situation where I was like, I don't want to interrupt. Now I'm like, if I feel like it's necessary, if I feel like it's a good idea, yeah, I'm gonna like interrupt. I'm gonna be like, yeah, but what about, I'm gonna be like that. And the more I get on there, the easier it will become for me. Shoe Nice, hell yeah. Oh. What's Shoe Nice been up to? He I feel like he just kind of fell off the face of the earth recently. You know? I don't know though. I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. Um Jankum Alchemist, what's going on, man? Yeah, it's funny because like as far as streams go, I only got like a little bit over 1,000 views on that stream that I did with Shoe Nice, Goon, and Kaylee, which like that's a lot for me at any point, but that's not the most, especially considering Shoe Nice was on there. I figured, I'd probably get a little bit more, but whatever. Um, but like when I search my own channel, that's still the first thing that pops up for me is the Jeopardy stream with Shoe Nice, Goon, and Kaylee. You know, um, man, back to eating SpongeBob stickers in alleyways. Whatever he's doing, I hope he's doing all right. I'll say that much. I don't think he's a bad dude. Hmm. I got to roll with a black belt yesterday, which is not something I always get to do. I'm the highest rank at my school, you know, at my school, at my gym, you know. I'm the highest rank at my gym. And like rolling with a black belt for one thing, I'm a brown belt with 4 stripes, right? So I'm practically a black belt. But rolling with a black belt and he doesn't absolutely obliterate me right away is like such a crazy thing to think about considering how it was like even 4 years ago, right? Back when I was like still a pretty new purple belt. That was such a crazy thought. That was such a crazy thing, you know. Um, it's wild to me, but it is just like if it feels good. It feels good to give black belts trouble. It feels good to give black belts a run for their money, you know. Um, Knowing that I'm probably going to be a black belt sooner rather than later, it's such a crazy thought. When you first start as a white belt, you're best off not even thinking about the next belt. You're best off just trying to like make every day a good day at the gym, like fuck it. But you're gonna get to a point where like you're blue with 3 or 4 stripes, maybe you're a purple with like a couple of stripes or something like that, and you're gonna be like, oh fuck, I'm starting to get up there, dude. I mean, yeah, I ain't exactly the top of the totem pole, but I definitely ain't the bottom anymore. You're gonna be looking down at some people who are below you all of a sudden, and you're gonna be like, oh fuck, damn, like shit. All right, cool, you know. And there's a lot of things that I've learned over the 10 or so years that I've been doing jujitsu that like I'm not gonna sit here and share all of them with you, but it's crazy. The journey is not over. The journey's not going to be over when I get my black belt. If anything, the journey is just kind of beginning when you get your black belt. Not to be fucking like corny about it, right? But it's crazy that I'm like getting closer and closer to that milestone. It's such a crazy thought. Um did you constantly try to heel hook and ankle lock him, dude? That's all I did. We were doing past the guard, so you weren't allowed to do submissions, and I just constantly was just trying to wrench heel hooks, you know. Oh, excuse me. Oh man, sorry. I'm just reading some shit. Reap the knee. Hell yeah. Re- Reap the knee. The jujitsu version of sweep the leg. You know. Um. All right, fucking. I'm gonna throw on some. I'm gonna throw on some shmayoe, because the chat seems to be slowing down. I'm not gonna like ignore the chat or anything like that. I'm just I figure it'll be better for me to be doing something other than just like waiting for the chat to go. Cause me, I don't know if there's anything I can think of like to do or say right this second. Um, or if there is anything, you know, if there is anything, then you know, if there is anything, then it's not something I want to like. I don't want to just pivot into it. Like we're talking about jujitsu, so yeah. Did you know that the weather is gonna be cold tomorrow or whatever? You know. All right. Uh, I I reported someone for griefing just to be an asshole. It's like I've said. I said it on I almost said AoE. I said it on PKA. I've just accepted that I'm a toxic player now. I'm just a fucking toxic player. That's what I am. I don't mean anything by it, you know. It just is what it. I don't mean anything by it when I'm typing KYS into the chat. I don't mean anything by it. All right? Don't take it too seriously, bro. Don't take it too seriously, you know. Um but that's just what I am. That's just what I am, you know. All right, so I'm gonna go Kelty boys. You're not the player the game needs, but the player the game deserves. Of course. Damn, four cows right out the gate. Go ahead and hit here. Come on, baby. Try and run through the trees. Dude, I want my kids to grow up around forest because me, like, I grew up in a town where like there was tons of forest around, but it wasn't like it's not like I lived rural, you know. I want my kids to be able to play in the woods, like behind my house or like in the neighborhood and stuff like that. You know, that's one of those things I look back on fondly from when I was a kid, and you know, I think those were good experiences to have. Oh wow, pretty interesting placement there. Pretty convenient placement there, I have to say. Anyway, oh damn, I'm already fucking up. Um, but yeah, it sucks because like my area, my hometown went downhill completely and totally, and because of that, you know what, I'm gonna build right to there because anyone who tries to attack it is gonna be in danger of getting hit. Anyway, but yeah, my town went to shit, and because of that, there was like heroin needles and all this other fucking like awful shit in the woods now, and because of that, like you can't go in there because you never know, you know. Not that I'm like 30 years old hanging around in the woods in my old neighborhood. That'd be fucking weird, but actually no, that's exactly what I do all the time, no matter what. Um, ooh, you see, this is kind of situation here, but um, see, I need to find my berries. I'm having a hard time finding my berries here, and because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit here. What you're gonna do right now is, oh damn, one, two, bang bang, and then go find my fucking berries, dude. Yeah, we should be good. I'm sure they're like just over the fucking line of sight. Oh, there they are. Go here. Oh, all right. I'll take those. But yeah, like you can't do that kind of thing anymore, and it sucks because like it's such a like it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have. You know, it's a good formative experience for you to have. Damn, I have way too many of these things chilling around. Uh, And then what I will do as well is 1, 2, 3. But then I will also hit here. See, like, if they try and attack here, not great, but whatever, you know. Um, oop. 1, 2. My fondest memories are of playing pretend with my friends in the woods. Hell yeah, dude, you know. We used to have stick fights and shit like that, you know. You find a stick that you don't think is gonna break, and you, like, you know, you sword fight with it. You know, try and avoid hitting each other in the head with it, but every now and again someone gets mad, something slips, whoops. You know. Um but yeah, like, it's you can't beat those memories of outside. And I, like, trust me, I'm not trying to be a boomer here. I'm not trying to be Mr. like, oh, today's kids. Oh, back in my day, we didn't have iPads. We had library cards, and they didn't run out of battery. Books don't run out of battery. You know that? You don't need to charge a book. I'm not trying to be that. Believe me, I am most certainly not. But oh wait, and then I need gold as well. That is a toughie. That is definitely a toughie. But yeah, I'm not most certainly not trying to be that guy. You know what? Yeah, honestly, I don't know if it's a good idea to do that or not. It's probably not, but I'm gonna do it because I want to try my best to expedite the process here. You know, that was also not the best place to put my gold. I should have put it right there, but I wasn't sure. I didn't know there was a little dimple right there. You know, plus I want to be able to scout with this guy. I want to put him on auto scout as quick as I can. Um, but like, I do think the Zoomers were the first iPad generation. I do think that Gen Alpha is probably going to be kind of similar to a certain extent, you know. But I want to believe maybe Gen Alpha has a little bit more, oh, just a little bit more, I don't, they maybe people learned from the iPad shit. I don't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Regardless, like, I'm just hoping that, like, everything. Oh, come on, baby. Yes. Hell yeah. Oh, damn. Fuck. I don't like that. Oh shit. He's Teutons too. He's gonna get those knights. Teutons. I used to main Teutons. Teutons are good, but, like, I don't even use the knights a lot of the time. I use halberders. What I need to do ASAP, once I get up to, feudal age, which I thought I had clicked up to a while ago. What I need to do when I get up to feudal age is I need to put a I need to protect my my berries and my stone. But even then, I might go stone and gold. I need to protect those two things. Uh-oh. I don't know. Huh. What the hell was that, huh? Was that his scout, or was that... Hmm. Nah, whatever. Anywho. Um... Yeah. No, actually, you know what? Let's see if I can get him to chase me back. I really hope Scott classes his cage. Oh boy. I like if Blood Games 2 is really happening, I really hope that I get called back for that. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go here and then there. 1, 2. Go ahead there. And then there. Well, first off, so bang, bang, bang. I really hope I do get a call back for that though, specifically because like I wanna further flesh out the Cage character insofar as like his presence in the world and other stuff like that, you know. I want more experience with having to do characters and stuff like that, the LARPing aspect of it. I really hope that works out. All right, so we're gonna go right over to there, right over to there. And then you know what else we're gonna do? Oh, huh. You see, that's exactly why. That's fucking exactly why. But the thing is, it's not great because, in fact, you know what I need? I need Loom. Uh, mm-hmm. That's why that's not good. That's why that's not the best. What the fuck? Dude, what is going on? Oh boy. All right. So what I also need to do is go 1 and then 2. It's not great that I'm putting them in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna have them jump on here because as long as I can get a castle up, I'm not completely and totally out. The scores kind of fucking suck right now, but I'm gonna get up to. Yep, there it is. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Where do you think you guys are going? What the fuck you guys think you're doing, huh? The fuck? Oh yeah, duh. I remember now. All right, so that wasn't as disastrous as it could have been. That was not nearly as bad as it could have been. You know, that could have been a lot worse than it was. And then in addition to that, I'm on my way up to Dat Cass, so that's not bad. All right, you guys get your asses out of there. But yeah, I hope I can play Cage again. That's what I really hope. I really hope I can play Cage again. Did Blood Games take you back to those days in the woods? It really did. It really did, 100%. There's 4. I'm gonna take a couple more, throw them there. You know, I definitely need the food. But yeah, it really did. It did quite a bit. You know, like especially during the test play because I was having fun like being a vampire and like I'm not gonna lie like there were times where I had the drop on like Ben or like Chip or Jet or someone like that, and I was standing 10 feet in front of them and they had no fucking clue. Not because like I was like but literally like standing like this watching them, and they had no they had no fucking clue I was there because that's how dark it was, and they didn't have lights on, right? In one case or another, they didn't have lights on, and that brought me back to playing Manhunt as a kid, you know, and that was a lot of fun. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go here, and then I'll go there. Yeah, that's not that bad. Not gonna be able to go those things right away, but you know. All right, so what I also need right now is damn it, he got the Castle Age at the same time as me. He's yeah, it's probably a losing battle, but that is what it is. It's all good. Um, Stick wars between classes in the woods was dope until, of course, it was banned by the teachers. Oh yeah, I mean we never did that at school. We did that in the neighborhood. You know, I was lucky enough to grow up in a neighborhood with a bunch of kids in it. You know, so that's always a good thing too, when you don't have to like worry about, oh hey, I'm the only one in my neighborhood, like, you know, like who am I gonna hang out with? What is this idiot doing? What a dummy. What a fucking dummy, dude. Oh, yeah, you know what, fuck it. All right, come on, baby. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna slap that down right there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So what I'm hoping right now, it's probably not gonna happen because I'm sure he's got a I'm sure he's got up, you see? Yep. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody fucking go. No. It's over. It's over. I don't feel like having to dig one out, you know? Yep, no, it's over. GG's. I'd rather just play one more. I'd rather just play one more, you know? It's a habit I get into, is blocking people, because I don't feel like having to listen to, like, losers, you know? That's part of the reason why I'm toxic, is because other people get toxic and they're just supposed to, like, what I'm supposed to see them play like bitches, which I don't think that guy was playing like a bitch, but like they're supposed to play like bitches, and I'm supposed to be like, good game, good game. You played like a pussy, good game. Like, no, fuck that, you know. Either that or they start talking shit over a video game. It's like, well, all right, bitch, you know. Anyway, um, they haven't disassembled the majority of the Blood game set, which suggests it will return in some form alongside the brief fourth wall break during Season 3 with Bert's visit to Shitty. Oh, yeah, I mean, Jet on Instagram asked for help for setting up a Blood Games too. So, you know, it's if it's not 100% confirmed, it is pretty much on its way to being there. It seems like it, you know. Um, but yeah. All right. So here we are on Arena. So I mean, that last one was close enough to an arena map that I should have been able to do well, even though it is a little bit weird. But this one, like, I should be able to do a lot better on it, you know. Um, I know Xavier's been doing things in his trailer, so maybe it'll come back. Yeah. Um, I got into I mentioned this in one of my more recent streams. I got in touch with Xavier about writing. Um I know it's kind of a meme, you know, my bits, my comedy chops and stuff like that, but I know that when it comes to a blood game situation that I could think up some pretty good stuff, you know. I take inspiration from a lot of different places that I think would be good too, you know. Like one of them is I'd like to set up a manhunt style quest, if you will, where at some point somebody gets black bagged, right? Whether that's like legit, like fucking somebody throws a black bag over Vance and then we pick him up and put him in a wheelbarrow, um, or if it's like we walk over and we're like, sleep spell, Vance, you're asleep, and we bring him out to like the wild lands, let's say, and we have a bunch of vampires or maybe it's bandits or something like that, and there's a walkie-talkie with the Duke on the other end, or maybe Jet, maybe even Xavier, right? Um, and he has to like stealth assassinate his way back to the camp, And if he gets spotted, maybe there's an NPC that gets killed, maybe even a named NPC, right? Like Soda Man or something like that. And then if Soda Man does get killed, we give Spencer, you know, the Soda Man, a different NPC to play, or maybe they just respawn and they act like nothing happened, or even better yet, maybe they respawn and Spencer is like, or you know, Soda Man is like pissed off at Vance for the rest of the time. Maybe he's like a little icy towards Vance for the rest of the time. You know, shit like that, right? Like shit like that is fun. That's a good idea. And that's the type of stuff that I would love to see in a Blood Games too, if it could be railroaded a little bit more. And if we had specific things for specific people, because that is one thing that is one thing Xavier talked about, is he orchestrated certain things for certain people because he felt like they needed it. And you know, Metal Gear Vance was a great one for Vance specifically, because like he if you gave that quest to John, he would have walked up, he would have been like, I'm coming in. I'm going in. Don't tell me no, I'm going in. You know. I can't do a good John. I love John, but you know, like let's be real. That's how he would have been. He would have been like, no, I'm gonna find a way to subvert this, because that's what John does. He tries to find ways to play around and see what he can game out of the system. You know, it's a certain amount of it you got to respect. But yeah, like stuff like that would be great for a Blood Games too. You know, I think it maybe could be a little bit more railroaded, and if I can help with that, then I will. You know. 1, 2, there we go. You know, hopefully it ends up coming through. Whether I get a call back to be Cage or like another character or not, like I would love to help with the writing, because I have fun with stuff like that in the first place. You know. 18, silly me. I didn't actually bring him back there. Alright, I gotta get the boar. Gotta get the boar galore. You see the difference in score between us right now? That's because when it comes to arena, I'm just that good on arena right now. You know? I gotta get good on the other maps. But the thing is, too, that guy is probably picking that map specifically because he's good on that map. You know, kind of in the way that I'm good on arena. He probably has a certain strat that he utilizes, revolving that scout rush and then fast castle into knights or something like that, right? That's probably just his thing. And you know, because of that, he's you know, it was easier for him to win that one. Kid. See, like, it sounds like they're saying kid, right? Which is 100. It's like kid mila falta, which is, or kid mila falcha, excuse me. I'm still learning how to pronounce certain words and stuff like that. Every now and again, I get caught up on some stupid shit, but that's Irish for 100,000 welcomes. That's kind of like a dramatic way of just saying, "Hey, pal, welcome." You know, nice to see you. But yeah, it's funny when I hear them say that. And then it sounds like she's saying Arlet, right? Which, if I'm correct about that, maybe it is. Maybe they're trying to say some form of like, what would you like, you know? Because, yes, that was a close one. Because if I was to offer you something, I might be like, awalet ushka, which would be like, would you like water, right? Awalet. So it's funny to hear the Irish in this, and if I'm hearing what I think I'm hearing, understanding a little bit of it. It's funny. All right. Almost to that feuds. We almost to the feudy. I'm gonna pull off of that. Go there. Yeah, we got a couple of goats, couple of goaty boys. All right, we gotta go 1, 2, bang, bang. Oh damn, that bothers me. So one thing when it comes to Fast Castle, you have to be ready to click up like right as soon as your next villager is like your second villager, right? Because I go 24 plus 2, meaning 24 villagers in Dark Age, and then I add 2 in I add an extra 2. Oh fuck, you know what? Wait. I don't want the downtime. I don't want the downtime. I'll go ahead. I'll take these 2 because they're a little bit closer, and then I'll see what I can do here. You know, I'm getting a little bit better at driving the game, but I'm still not great at it, as you can see. That is one thing that I'm having a bit of a hard time with is like, oh, I need to get to Castle Age as soon as my second Feudal Age Vil is created, but I can't because I don't have enough food. I gotta unlock the secret here. I don't know what the secret is. Come on, baby. Come on. That's not the worst thing in the world, I guess, either, because, like, the timing that I had on these guys, the longer I take in Feudal, because he did just get the Feudal himself, but the longer I take in Feudal, at the very least, I'm a little bit close to having the gold for a castle. For that Cass, you know? Alright. Come on. Yep. There we go. And then what I will also do for the time being is, because I really want to get a castle as soon as I can. You know, the scores are creeping up next to each other, which is not a good thing. Granted, I did just click up, so that means my score dropped a little bit. But, you know, this guy's Georgians. I believe Georgians get okay cavalry, so I'm going to have to be prepared for that as well. I'm going to go ahead. At least make one of these bad Larrys for now. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Hopefully I can kind of push both of these guys at the same time. Come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nah, damn it. Alright, fuck it. We're gonna go that way. And bang. Perfect. 1, and then 2, and then you guys are all gonna go there. Did I see something over here, or was that my imagination? I am not too sure. You and me, we come from different worlds. Alright, yep, we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good. We are good. Let's get our asses over to there. Ooh, because he got to Castle Age so quick, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to set one up here is where I'm going to do it. And then I'm also going to go here. And then back to there. And then I'm also going to... because I need those things, those relics. The sooner I get the relics, the better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna go there. Damn. Oh man, this guy's creeping ahead slowly but surely. You know, the thing is with the Celts, it gets a little bit tougher in some cases to compete when you and him are both in castle or when he gets to imp, you know, especially if he's a gunpowder civ. I have a hard time with gunpowder civs, and I have a hard time with the Incas, apparently, you know, for some reason. I couldn't 100% tell you why, but, no, I'm gonna go another one just in case. Okay. So this guy, ooh, yeah, no, those guys are at, yep. No, damn it. No, that's fine by me. Shit. So chances are he's actually got some motherfuckers over here. So you know what? We will go there and here. Just in case, I'm also going to go five battering rams. What the hell are you doing? There you go. There we go. Let's go here as well, just to make sure. I just want to make sure that there's nobody. Oh, you see, he already got it. You see, he's being smart about it. He's being smart about it. He's trying to make sure he gets those. So you know what? I'm gonna make sure I get them. What are you? No, you fucking idiot. Go. Go. You know what? Just in case too, because those Woad Raiders are pretty good in terms of like not having to worry that much about like if they get molested by those guys. Alright. Ah, damn it. I don't have enough wood, so I'm gonna go there. You see that's you see what I mean by like I have shitty eco habits. Like I should have had a just in case. I'm gonna guard this guy, but what are you doing here? What's your fucking deal? Oh. Whoops. You guys are not supposed to be here. You are supposed to be there. Actually, you know what? All things considered, I think it's probably better to go there in the first place. Alright. You guys will go over here. I also need more houses. Once I can, once I'm done. You see? That's what I was talking about. So I will. Oh, fuck. I can't even do that right this second. I don't know. Maybe I can win this. No. There's no way I'm gonna win this. Fuck. Oh, well. Oh, well. What you gonna do? Actually, can I win this? Oh, fuck. I might be able to win this. Nope, never mind. Never mind. That is okay. Let's... 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it might actually be kind of a close game. And again, like it's my eco that always limits me. You know, if we're being honest here, it's always my lack of like good eco that does this to me every single time. What are you doing? Lazy fuck. Get your ass over there. Get your ass over there. You know, couple more. Like 3 more. After these 3, I'm gonna send them. I'm gonna try and break in through that side because you know everybody all like this. You see, I have a mind for strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone always expects a frontal assault, but me, I'd rather sneak in through the tree line and bang, bust in through there. I prefer to bust in through the gates because when you bust, you finish them quick. But yeah, like the gate provides a little bit more surface area so you can get more. What are you doing? What are you doing? The gate provides more surface area so you can get more rams on it, which means it's going to fall quicker than if you went for like one of these spots, you know? Can be a bit of a trade-off at times, but hey, it is what it is. And then I need 4 here. No, I need 1, 2, 3. All right. It's almost like I know that thing's gonna be gone. You know, I know that thing's gonna be gone. I'd be very surprised if it wasn't gone. Wow, it's not gone. Okay. So in that case, what you're gonna do, you're gonna go over here. You're gonna try and get that fucking knight, and then you're gonna fuck him up. You see, what I should have also done, though, is I should have... Oh, would you look at that? You see, this is really a goated strat if you play as fucking as Celts. You know, the only thing that makes it a little tough sometimes is the fact that... Oh, fuck him. Oh, he's playing with fucking cav archers. What an asshole. What an asshole, dude. What a fucking asshole. He's a big meanie. I'm literally not even worried because those cav archers don't do shit against. And what happens a lot of the time is if you ignore, yeah, you know what? I'd rather go here. Yo, thank you, Lord Raiden, for becoming a member. You see, this is what I was talking about. What usually happens with the cav archers is like they tend to they get overzealous with the attack if you just straight up fucking ignore them. Which like this is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be a tough one. Did somebody Oh shit, the Jack 'em Up kid. I didn't realize you. Oh, come on, baby. We got it. Hell yeah. Yeah, the Jack 'em Up kid. Thank you very much for the gifted memberships, man. I didn't realize you gifted memberships. Oh, this guy thinks he's getting cute, huh? He's gonna castle drop there. Well, sir, you got another thing coming. You got another thing coming, sir. But yeah, thank you so much, the Jack 'em Up kid. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm gaming. I'm gaming right now, so you know you're gonna have to excuse me. Gonna have to excuse me there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna win this fight. I was supposed to win this fight anyway. Fuck. Oh damn. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm killing so many of his fucking vills right now. This is perfect for me. This is exactly the type of shit that I need. Yep. I have him on the defensive, which is good. Oh, but he's got fortified churches, so that's not exactly great for me. You know, what I'm mostly nervous about right now is those again, I have a shitty economy. That's why this is a lot closer than it should be. But what I'm mostly worried about right now is these cav archers, and then, you know, he might be trying to mount an attack that I might not be 100% prepared for. So what I need to do is I need to make, you know what, just in case, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start, oh, fuck, and again, this is my fault. My fault for not having the proper, whatever it's called, you know, eco, so because of that, I have to sacrifice some gold to get better eco. Alright, so what I'm going to do is try my best to take out that castle that he's building right there. Because if I can keep that castle taken care of, if I can keep him just on the defensive enough as to where he can't really mount a proper offense, then I'm in good shape. You know, all I need is one more battering ram, and I'll feel like comfortable enough to go for it. Yo, thank you, Jack 'em Up Kid, for the $5 as well. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, dude. All right, come on. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm just gonna let these guys catch up to the things, and the stuff. Nah, damn it. Man. Yeah, I don't want them going one at a time. You need to form a mass that you use to fucking crash into it. And there we go. Mm-hmm. Cav archers that he has upgraded as well. I'm gonna need, when I get the opportunity, to go for that shit too. I'm gonna keep these guys out just in case that happens, you know? Oh, that's an interesting little move. That's an interesting little play there. Oh, he's doing that fucking bullshit. He's not fighting with units right now. He's fighting with fucking he's fighting with buildings, which is like, I've always thought that was like a punk way to play, you know? Again, that's that shit where it's like, you know, you play like a pussy, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, good game after. It's like, no, you know, I don't want to talk to you. No, sir. Oh wait, I'm in fucking imp. Since when? You know what? In that case, that way I have a little bit more room to play around, you know, and all right. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. You know what? I want this thing built as soon as I can have it built. Alright, so good. I got onagers. So yeah, if I can treb these castles down, I'm in good shape. Like, I think that's literally all he's got, you know? Again, he's fighting with buildings, not fucking units. So, would you look at that? Would you look at that? I knew he was going to do that, too. I was like, huh. Why do I feel like he's got something he's doing here? But that's not going to be anything, because his Monaspas are just, you know, fucking unique cavalry unit when other Monaspa or Knight Line units are nearby. Honestly. You see what I'm talking about here? He doesn't want to fight for real. He just wants to have fucking he just wants to try and like out fucking build me. And that, like I said, in my opinion, kind of a shitty way to play. Oh, would you look at that? See, believe it or not, that was not the best move for him to make because all that's going to do is just, you know. What the fuck, dude? What are you idiots doing? Come on. Or am I being attacked? Oh, okay, alright. Sorry, I'm like zoned in right now. You know, as you guys can probably tell. Let's go there. Who is attacking me where? Who is attacking me where? I am confused. Oh, there. Yeah, he's still in castle. That's part of the reason why he's not doing as good as he probably should be. You know? And that's also not really good for me, though, considering the fact that I'm an Imperial, but it was still so close up until a second ago. You know? Just in case. Yeah, you know what? Also. See, he can destroy those things, which he couldn't even do that. You know, that's a good trade. I got mad at his Vils, and he got, what, one of my almost practically disposable, you know, trebuchets. Like, yeah, you know, and this is the gamble with my play style, right? Which a lot of people would just say is bad, and I don't even necessarily disagree, but is like either everything goes right exactly the way I need it to, or it doesn't go right, and you know I end up fucked. But in this case, it's going right. You know. Anyone watch any new movies? I've been watching Dexter lately, and that's another series that I slept on that I should not have slept on. It is a really good series. I just got done with season 4, and you know, just in case any of you have not seen it, I won't spoil it for you, but some pretty gnarly shit happens at the end of season 4. Dexter started off great. Oh, I don't like that. It started off great. What do you mean it started off great? Did it not end great? Is that what you're implying? Is that what you're saying here? Didn't I? Oh. Got him. You see, it seems like he's trying to retreat, although he might have something built up here, but I'm not actually that worried about it because I'm pretty fortified from this side. What I'd actually be more worried about is here, but I have a strong feeling he doesn't have anything there, so I'm not gonna like pull back just to go this way. I'm gonna keep on pushing in direct to him, you know. I'll also take out his military while I'm on the outside of the while I'm on the outside here, you know. Ah, damn it. Bob Saget. And then I'll send them over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyone watch Snow White? No, I didn't watch Snow White. Haven't seen the new series. Think it has good reviews. Yeah, I don't know much about it. Did they race swap somebody Was there somebody that got race swapped in the Snow White shit? Like, is that what happened? I'm not sure. Oh damn! Just fucking. Well, let's ride. Oh damn! He got one of my fucking. No, damn it. Oh, man. I fucked myself. You know what? I'm actually gonna go there. There we go. Alright, there we go. Oh, wow, what an idiot. Oh, silly onager. Silly little onager. Yes. Alright. There we go. Oh, that's where that came from. Alright, in that case. It's pretty much over, but this guy is like trying to hold on, you know. I mean, it's not the most over it's ever been, but you know, he's probably not going to have a we're so back moment. That's probably out of the question here. It's probably out of the question. I'm gonna try something here. Use the power of dark psychology to make a suggestion. Oh fuck, is it working? Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Is he seriously about to give up? Oh, the fucking phone here. What are you idiots doing? Damn. See, I said GG because I was like, if I say GG, maybe he'll be like, yeah, it's pretty much lost. You know, which, like, that's, like, I made a joke about, like, dark psychology, but that's, like, a real thing you can do to people, you know? People, the way we tend to operate is there's an ebb and a flow to conversations and the way things are done and stuff like that, and we typically don't want to subvert that. We want to, like, go with what is typically expected given the etiquette of a situation or just what seems to be, like, the sane and reasonable thing. So the idea behind that, although it's like ridiculous and it didn't actually work, it would have been funny if it did, would have been to be like GG, and then this guy kind of takes the hint and is like, oh yeah, I guess I should give up now because you know, I'm losing, and he said GG. Like, obviously something like this, I was just kind of fucking around, but there's plenty of times where that kind of thing goes on, you know, like if you want someone gone, you know, like what you can do is you can say, all right, have a good one, man. Right? When like I'll be honest with you, that happened to me the other day. There was a situation with somebody who They wanted to talk. Hold on. Oh, got him. They wanted to get out of a place. I was holding them up a little bit. I didn't realize I was holding them up. And, look at this fucking asshole. Look at this asshole. What a fucking idiot, dude. Anyway. Not anymore. Oh, damn it. Anyway, but like it's kind of tough for me to think of examples of that, right? But like you let's say you're sitting there, right? You want to leave, or like you want someone to leave, or you know, somebody's kind of cramping like the style or anything like that. You can sit there and wait for a pause and then be like, "All right, man. Well, you have a good one." Right? Like kind of situations like that. Um Man, it's so tough to the thing is, there's plenty of examples that I could think of, but they're examples of people who are in my life currently, and I don't want to do that. I like if I'm going to talk about somebody, it's going to be somebody who's not in my life anymore, just cuz, you know, whether it's a good or a bad example. um but there was this one guy, right? Years ago, I was working at a 7-Eleven, right? This just came into my head. I just remembered this fucking guy. Um, is it, I won't say his name. I won't say his name. You know, it's been almost 10 years since I've seen this fucking guy, but I still won't use his name just in case. We'll call him Joey. Joey used to sit there, right? And he'd ask you to do some stuff with him, right? He'd ask you to do some stuff with him, and then you'd start doing it with him, and then he'd be like, all right, so let me know when that's done. And he'd walk off and he'd go do something else, right? And that something else was usually something that was a lot easier, a lot more simple, a lot, you know, it's something that he wanted to do, as opposed to this thing that was really his responsibility, but he didn't want to do that bad. So he would ask for help for it. And then he'd be like, all right, just let me know when you're done, right? The power of just confidently and matter of factly, almost as though there was some kind of prior agreement that you had, saying, all right, let me know when that's done. All right, have a good one, man. All right, hey, I'll be back when you're done, or come grab me when you're done, right? The power of that is strong, because the average person doesn't want to be someone who like throws a monkey wrench into things. They don't want to slow the roll. They want to keep the flow of everything going. So because of that, there's a lot of people out there who they're good at like just being able to be like, oh hey, can you help me move this can you help me move these milk crates of Arizona? You know, hey, if we both do it, it'll be quicker. Oh yeah, sure, man, no problem. All right, cool. Move like three milk crates and then be like, all right, let me know when you're done, and walk off, right? That's like a Boston schmuck sociopath thing to do. There's a certain flavor of sociopath that is like, I feel like it's almost localized in Boston, and like that's the type of sociopath it is, where it's like he might not be harmful to you in that way all the time, but like you don't want to get too involved with him, because he's the kind of guy who's going to do that bullshit. He's going to pull that dumb shit. Like a good example of that guy is the charge card guy from Fallout 4. There's a reason they included that guy in Fallout 4, and that's because you get tons and tons of guys like that around fucking Boston. Is the charge card. I'll go ahead and I'll show you, for those of you that don't, for those of you blah 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 blah. For those of you that don't know, the charge card. It's a charge card. I know like 10 fucking guys like this. I know like 10 guys like this a year. I know 10 guys like this a year. I fucking, excuse me. I've met 10 of them. When one of them drops off, I pick up another one. That's the way it is. Uh Yes, Parker Quinn was his name. Parker Quinn. Okay. Yeah. So
I'll
fuck it.
take your money and you get the charge card.
Oh dear, you've been scammed and
Oh,
fallen for,
fuck.
choosing to believe Parker Quinn.
Get the,
Will any merchant...
get the fuck out of here.
Have you ever wondered if the charge card
Get
actually
out of
works?
here. Get out of here. I just want the guy. I just want the guy. That's it. That's it. Here we go.
I knew you'd be back. You want that charge card now?
Sounds good. I'll take one.
Awesome. I'll take your money and you get the charge card. Great doing business with you. Tell your friends, Parker Quinn, same corner every day. Retard.
Excuse me.
You have fun with that charge card.
That's usually how that 10th man falls off, actually. Funny thing. But even this is like it's not showing you the the actual like scripting of like, hey, you know, how to deal with the charge card. You know what? Maybe it'll show you, right?
Parker Quinn, I just want to say it's a good thing you came by my corner.
Good to meet you, Mr. Quinn.
Mr. Quinn, what are we, strangers? Mr. Quinn's my father's name. I'm Parker.
Sure. What is it you want, Parker?
I'll tell you. You're being so patient. Thank you so much. The only thing I want is to do what God Almighty put me on this earth to do. And that's to help my fellow man. Because I don't like that misanthropic garbage. A girl can do anything a man can. Look, because you're obviously a busy, dangerous, and exceedingly intelligent person, I'm gonna cut right to it. I'm gonna make you a proposition so spectacular you can't possibly say no. You ready?
Do I have a choice?
Every day you're gonna buy stuff. Food, ammo, beer, whatever. And you pay with caps. Caps, bottle cap. A bunch of losers blow up the world 200 years ago, and we have to lug around piles of bottle caps? Are you friggin' kidding me? So that's why I've been working with every single shop in the Commonwealth to get introducing the only form of the charge card.
The charge card?
That's what I said, charge card. It's super simple. You give me 100 accepted at any store in the Commonwealth, up to 100 caps. The 10 extra caps is my service fee. So what do you say? Want one?
And this isn't some kind of scam.
I can't believe you just asked me that. What, I'm a charlatan? You think I got this far in life? I'm an entrepreneur.
What, I'm a charlatan?
This is as real as I
You see, like that type of shit. Like, dude, you being, what do you think? I'm a fucking, like, what do you think? I'm a fucking con artist? Dude, I ain't a fucking con artist, dude. You're a fucking asshole. You know that? You calling me a fucking ripoff, dude? The fuck's your problem, dude? You sound like a fucking asshole, dude, when you talk to people like that. You really gotta, dude. You know what your problem is, dude? You're always being fucking negative about everything, dude. Here, take the fucking charge card. Give me the 110 caps. I swear, you're gonna love the fuck out of it, dude. Dude, you can come back to me and apologize after you figure out just how great this fucking charge card is, kid. Like that's that guy, right? There's a certain kind of like Boston sociopath schmuck where like the way he talks, the way he is, he should not be as smart and as good at manipulating people as he is. But he is. There he is in the flesh, Parker Quinn. There's a bunch of Parker Quinns around here all the fucking time. And that's one of the tactics they'll use is like, oh, hey, dude, I got to move these Arizona packages. Dude, can you help me? You know, I need to do it quick. All right. Okay. Got a couple of them. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, let me know when you're done. I gotta go fucking do some other shit here. Just let me know when you're done with that. Like that's oh, excuse me. That's the exact type of shit that happens, you know. And like that's kind of what I was hoping would happen with the AOE game. I was having a little bit of fun with it, just messing around. I was hoping that's what would happen with the AOE game because it would have been funny. But you know, it is what it is. But anyway, I think it's about time I hit that dusty trail. All right, I gotta go and you know, get on my wife's nerves. I will talk to you guys later. All right, I'm gonna be streaming on Friday as usual, sometime around the 9 p.m. hour. I will see you then. might just be another chill stream. I'll be honest with you. You know, I'm tired of coming up with half baked ideas. I mean, chill stream plus we could maybe play some Postal. I wanna finish Postal, but I want to finish it on stream. I want to experience Postal 2 with you guys. Is kind of the thing that I want. I don't want to play through the first 3 levels. We're on mission 4 here, and then decide, you know what, I'm gonna finish the game myself. No, I'd rather go through the whole game. But yeah, so I will catch you guys later. Thank you everybody who donated. Thank you everybody who gifted subs, became subs, what have you. Thank you everybody. I appreciate you guys. I am going to head out. All right. Oh, Jack 'em Up Kid said send them to hell for the $5 as well. The Jack 'em Up Kid. I don't know if you're still here, but I apologize for not reading your thing. I'll be honest with you guys. It's been a while since I've gotten like donations and shit like that. I might have forgotten how to go about that. I might have forgotten how to read. Whoops. Whoopsies. Oops. But anyway, thank you so much, the Jack 'em Up Kid, for the $5. I sent them to hell. We got it done. All right. I will head on out. I'll hit that dusty trail. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.